Miss Fani Willis, the district attorney over there in Georgia, who's in charge of the Trump Rico case, is really looking messy right now. She's been accused of dating the special prosecutor who she hired, paying him way, way more than any of the other prosecutors that are on the case, and he has less experience. And there's allegations that she's flying around the country, staying in hotels with the district attorney together, and it's really, really, really looking messy. I don't know why she just doesn't step down and save face, but hey.
Fani Willis and the taxpayers are paying Nathan Wade, who she brought in as a special prosecutor, way above the market rate here. So I believe she's paid him upwards of $650,000. Taxpayers have paid him. That is far more than somebody working for the DA's office in Atlanta would be making. And that's the money that has funded these vacations. And we have the credit card receipts. They're out in public, and you can see that he has purchased her plane tickets and cruise vacations and this, that, and the other. Some of them are already out there. And even if they are not, if the whole record doesn't end up in the court proceeding, Jocelyn, she is free to leak those to the Washington Free Beacon. We are highly interested in seeing all of them. But I think the real scandal here is the misuse of taxpayer dollars for her own benefit.
Yeah, it's a lot of 100% agree. That's a lot. I mean, this woman, she's a world traveler. She loves her Caribbean vacations. Here is the report in a filing by Nathan Wade's estranged wife, Jocelyn. On October 4th, 2022, Nathan Wade purchased American airline tickets to Miami for himself, Fani Willis, and Clara Bowman, who's believed to be his mother. The mother came along for it. The 3 tickets cost a combined $1,300 plus. That same day, he paid more than $2,600 to Royal Caribbean Cruises. Good times. The next day, October 5th, he spent $3,800 with Vacation Express, a company that offers vacation packages and tours. And then later that month, Nathan Wade, Fani Willis, and the mother-in-law arrived in Miami on October 28th. They traveled, at least the two of them did, Nathan and Fani, from Miami to Aruba. Good times. Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take ya. They weren't done. I spent $370, he did, at the Hyatt Regency in Aruba. Then, the very next month, who does this? He spent another $3,200 on Norwegian Cruise Lines. My God, they love to cruise.
They're like retired. They're retired.
When have they had time to look into the Trump allegations? Okay, we don't know exactly when or if they took whatever cruise that was. But then in April, all they do is vacation. In April, he bought another $817 worth of Delta Airlines tickets, this one to San Francisco, in both his and Fani Willis's names. We don't know exactly when the flight was taken, but they stayed at the DoubleTree Hotel in Napa Valley. It's a whirlwind romance. I mean, it's obvious. Do we really need to see the unsealed records to know what's going on here?
They're making mockery of this woman in the news. Like she's a joke now. She's something that everybody sits around and laughs and cackles at. Now, if she would have stepped down when these allegations came to the surface, I think she might have been all right, but it might be too late now. If she would step down earlier, she would have probably just, recused herself from the case. It might have just died out in the news, and, she could have just moved on with her life. She's very, very arrogant, and that's what I think is keeping her around, but it's only going to mess her up. And she's just like the average politician. You say one thing and you do the other. You talk out of both sides of your mouth.
I certainly will not be choosing people to date that work under me. Let me just say that. I think that what citizens are really, really concerned about is if you chose to have inappropriate contact with employees. I mean, there's nothing that I can say on it other than it is distracting. It is certainly inappropriate for the number one law enforcement officer in the state. And it really, really saddens me.
Now, if Fani worked for herself, Fani would have to fire herself after that, right? You think? But see, I don't feel sorry for her. I don't feel sorry for her at all. And everything that's happening to her now, it's karma. She deserves everything that she's getting because she put it out there. Now, Mr. Let me see, what's his name? Mr. Michael Roman. Now, Michael Roman is the defendant in this case who brought all of these charges to the light. Well, it just so happens that Mr. Roman was one of the defendants that the prosecutors recommended not be charged. But Miss Fani Willis, she charged him anyway because she's grimy. Now look what happened. Because you want to be grimy. See, this is karma.
What is noteworthy, I think, about what we've seen in the past 3 weeks or so that these allegations have been out there, a couple of things. One, the person whose attorneys brought these allegations out is a guy by the name of Michael Roman. And I believe that prosecutors actually did not recommend, he was like one of these 17 or so defendants that they did not recommend bringing charges against.
The grand jury did not indict. The grand jury did not, right? He was the one.
They did not
but
recommend.
She brought the charges anyway.
Did it. Yep. And she is reaping the whirlwind for that. And number two, she has not denied this. So she's gone, because she's gone around the state complaining about this publicly. She's a victim. She has not denied publicly any of these allegations.
Well, you know, if it's probably too late. You know, Miss Fani Willis is probably in big trouble. But you know, if she wants to save herself more embarrassment, because every time she opens her mouth, it opens up a whole nother can of worms. But hey, let me know what you think in the comments. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button.